Hi there, folks. Welcome to another episode of Michael in the Backyard. M-I-T-B, Michael in the Backyard. Yes. Well, what's going on with me lately? Okay, you've seen me do some projects. You've seen me do several videos on tools. Well, tools are part of the things I need to do the things that I do here. And when I come across tools and stuff that I like to share that stuff with you, especially if it's an economical upgrade or best bang for the buck, or I searched the world over and thought I found true love. You met another and he was gone. Where, oh, where are you tonight? Anybody know what that's from? Okay, I won't damage any more of your hearing on that one. What have I got today? Well, let's just get down here and take a closer look. All right, do you guys remember the brand Buffalo? The Buffalo brand of tools. It used to be for sale. It was a chain store. I'm not sure how big a chain store it was. It's called Jack's, Jacks, and they had some welding stuff, a little bit of that. It was kind of, I don't know. They had a metal bandsaw that they sold for like $99 back in the day. And I'm going clear back to 1985. Back in the time machine, folks. Okay, so this grinder right here is a Buffalo brand, heavy duty. It's got overspray. It's got everything under the sun. Manufacture date is 1985. Serial number 0625. This was given to me by my folks in 1985, believe it or not. And it was a grinder similar to this when I received it. This type of a grinder here with stones on it and stuff. It has spent most of its life with me with a buffing wheel on one side and a wire wheel on the other. Sometimes it had two buffing wheels, whether it had the rag wheel or the tight sewn wheel like this. When I say rag wheel, this is a tight sewn wheel. This is sewn, it's got stitching all the way out. Versus this one here is still a sewn buffing wheel here, for instance. But then you've got these, let's just go back here where I got some stored. And you got these loose buffing wheels that aren't sewn. They're just sewn in the middle, and that's it. So, but anyway, back in the day, this was the cheap brand. And some people might complain about it. Let's see. Here's another one, made in Taiwan. Much like the stuff that we get from Harbor Freight today is made in China, it might still be some good product. I've had this grinder here. As you can still see, it fires up and goes. I use this thing all the time. Just in my last project and what I'll be doing later on this evening, I'll be wire wheeling some rusty tubing like you see laying over here. I'll wire wheel just the edges that I'm welding on it. Why? Because just like I did the base here for my drill press that's sitting over here, we don't want to remove that everybody's favorite word, patina, also known as just plain rust. Well, it's not going to get any rustier in my shop. It's only going to last 122 years as it sets right now. Does it look the prettiest? That's up to, viewers' discretion whether they think it's pretty or not. You could have all this stuff like this where I used to paint everything machine gray back in the 80s. But this grinder has been so hot that you can't lay your hand on it. You couldn't even do this without getting a second-degree burn. I had it so hot from buffing. This thing has buffed out so many crankcases and fork tubes and different types of things to bring aluminum to this high luster finish, which is almost impossible to maintain unless you put clear coat on it. But anyway, it's spent a lot of time doing that. Well, this video is all about something new. So these are both old. This is a regular grinding wheel that normally would have a guard over here, this guard here, which is out of adjustment severely, hard stone wheels. Well, I rarely, if ever, use those. And if I'm touching up a drill bit, I'll be honest with you, I go to my belt sander and I can touch up my drill bits real nice with the belt sander. You know, it's just how things have gone and how things progress and how things have changed as how I do things. So let me show you what we got here. Can you see this bench over here? Let me give you a little tweak and show you what I bought and the why I bought it. It's just the whats aren't always good enough. Here we are back at the Harbor Freight store where I frequent way too often. We have ourselves a Bauer 8-inch buffer. Michael, why an 8-inch buffer? Well, here's the deal. These have extended arms. You see how close the motor is here? When you're working here and how close the motor has to be right here with the wire wheel. Now you want to see here how far away the motor is? I mean, we're 4 or 5. Let's not guess. We are 4 5/8 inches away to that shoulder here. Compared to, let's just say, a 1/2 inch. So these things are pretty sweet. They're quiet. We're going to go ahead and pull these off for a minute here. And they're smooth. And this has got left-hand threads, so it's righty-loosey, lefty-tighty. Let's go ahead and plug this in real quick. Now, currently, there's nothing on here, but smooth. I mean, virtually zero vibration. It's a smooth running motor. These are 8-inch stationary buffer. It has, 5/8 arbor, wheel diameter 6 to 8 inch wheels. It comes with, I have them sitting over here because I'm not going to put them on it. Comes with 2 sewn buffing wheels, 1 and 2. It also came with spacers that go on here to space out your wheel, whatever you're planning on putting on here. Now, what did I buy to put on it? I'll show you. I'm going to try this one out. This wire wheel I've had on this grinder for a long time. It is a crimped wheel. It has the brass-coated steel. Whether the brass-coated steel makes a difference or not, I have no idea. But I bought a brass wheel, 8-inch crimped, Chicago Electric. I haven't even looked in it yet, to be honest with you. Comes with a lot of little spacers that would fit the wheel opening, it looks like. Looks like these fit the wheel opening well. So you just get the one that fits your arbor. So if you have I'm going to put it on this side. I'm always used to having the wire wheel on the right-hand side. So that said 5/8. I kind of like this little setup here. Looking for another 5/8 here. 32 by 5/8. So we're going to go ahead and stick this guy. Does it have a rotational direction on it? Maximum RPM 4,500. Wear eye protection, as always. Well, this thing will put... I wonder if I can use these with this. Would appear so. That'll keep me... Feels like that's going to work. Now what I do like about this, it does have wrench flats here. So a feller can take his metric wrenches here and give this a snuggin. There. I wouldn't call that... That moves some air. Holy smokes. Doesn't feel like that runs crazy true. There seemed to be a little play in those bushings. Because when you have it, there's definitely some up and down there. Normally you have those washers facing inward so it grabs onto the wheel. This one has its own metal stamped, crimped wheel that you're biting onto, so you're not relying on she winds up and she's kicking off some serious air. So we're just going to leave that like that. These are kind of handy. I'm going to hang on to those. Now the other wheel I bought a long time ago, and I've used it on and off, and this time I'm going to use it more on than off because I need another spacer. These are a nice soft wheel. They're not a hard wheel. They look like a hard wheel, but they're a soft wheel. And like a dense Scotch-Brite wheel, I got to find my wheel spacers here. Do I have one that fits this guy? Yes. So we'll put a wheel spacer in there. We'll put the washer on here. I like these because these are great for buffing. And deburring especially. When you want something that's a little less aggressive than a belt sander for deburring stuff, that's where these wheels shine. There again, if I had a sharp edge here, for instance, I could flip this on. This is not running true. But it will soften up an edge. That's got to be like dressed to run true. But anyway, this is a setup I'm gonna have here. Let's go ahead and unplug it. We're gonna take it off of this base over here. This grinder will stick on a shelf for use and for future purposes if I need it. If I need just another buffing wheel, small one like this, it'll be a backup to that. If I need just a stone, the rare occasion that I need a stone, I'll put a stone. I have this trays down here, honestly, that are, whoops, chase my stuff down. I have buffing rouge down here that I kept down here that's had a coffee can with water so I could cool my parts off. So that'll still stay. I can still use it as that. Let's go ahead and swap this out. I forgot I had a blue phase too at one time where I did everything covered in blue. Let's clean that off. I think my 5/8 plate was thick enough for this to be sturdy enough. I think so. They're not the same center to center. What do we got here for center to center? About 6 1/4. Looks like it was off-centered on here anyway, so you know what I'm gonna do? Let's try out this Harbor Freight drill. Now I have no illusions that my Harbor Freight drill is going to last as long or my impact is going to last as long as my DeWalt stuff, but maybe it will. Let's try it out. I got these where it was about you get two 1.5 amp hour batteries, 2 tools, and a battery charger for $99. Let's just see if we can drill a hole with this bad boy. See if it's got enough torque. What happened? Oh. Got to get up to drill mode. There we go. That worked really good so far. Can't be mad at that. We'll go on the low side here for this guy. Now I'm leaning on it pretty good. That wasn't disappointing at all. I bet it'll fit a little bit better this go around. Now I'm not tightening this down until the base cracks, obviously. I'm just compressing the rubber feet. But I don't want the rubber feet to touch. I don't want the metal to touch here, otherwise it won't absorb any vibrations. Well, now we got her mounted on a nice solid base. That just seems crazy. Hear that air blowing? And you see I can quickly knock the ugly off that and get a clean surface to weld on. We're pretty happy with that. All right. Old, not busted, new hotness. We'll put this back over in its normal parking spot now. Some of the stuff that's coming out from Harbor Freight with the Bauer and the Hercules, pick your poison. Usually the Bauer's the lower cost brand and the Hercules is the higher cost brand. But the higher cost versus lower cost is sometimes a matter of $20. I don't know. I know I paid a lot for a recent replacement that I bought of a brushless 20 volt DeWalt drill, and that thing has so much torque it can actually hurt you. I've had my wrist twisted several times when I wasn't expecting it to catch, and that was my fault for not holding on to it like I should have. Something for me to throw in the back of the Jeep when I go to rescue boats to be able to drill a hole for a safety chain or use my impact on it to do a little bit of something here and there, some quick bolt repair, bolt removal type stuff. You know, this lays around in the back of my Jeep that gets used once every a little while, and the DeWalt stuff I've got get used a lot. Pick your poison, folks, is what I'm saying. This is an inexpensive way to stock up some spare stuff. So if you have more than one toolbox you're trying to keep going, this might be your answer for an economical price. And that goes for the, you've seen my videos, the bandsaw, the drill press. Maybe you need another drill press in another shop on a machine shed out on the farm somewhere. Somewhat economical way to get another drill press out there that seems to be pretty good so far. All right, this is Michael saying if it ain't broke, fix it till it is. Get out there and get your 1 hour a day in, and you'd be impressed at how much work you can get done just by dedicating 1 hour a day to getting a project moved forward. That's what I live by, and that's what I do. And if I get only an hour, I feel like I did it the other day. I'm going to keep rambling for a second here. When I was putting up the pallet racking up in the, I feel like a boom, of putting up my pallet racking out in the shed, I had 1 hour before we had to leave to go to a family get together. I went out there and I got an hour's worth of work done. And just doing that and then leaving the house and going visiting the family, visiting family is great and all, but I always have to have, this is just me mentally, I have to have a sense of accomplishment or something that I've completed or done every day. Otherwise, I feel like I wasted my day. That's just my mental problem, not yours. So I'm just sharing that with you. So I got out there and did that for an hour. And when I left, I'm driving happy because I know I've got my hour in for the day and that I moved something forward. I moved a project forward. So get out there and treat one another kind. Treat each other with respect, please, and thank you. And say good morning to somebody or good afternoons to somebody. And do it with a smile and bring their happiness level up. Even if it goes up a tick. Somebody can be having a bad day and you don't know it. And you go, hey, buddy, I hope you're having a good day. Good morning or good afternoon. This is Michael saying, if it ain't broke, fix it till it is. Once again, I'm out. We got to build a shelf.